Hey beauties, good afternoon to you, beautiful people. Boy, I saw something really. I know some people would probably go and say a good film. If he never did the crime, then he would not have to face all of that. But people, we have to have some mercy and compassion. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the, it's basically saying, blessed are the compassionate, those with feeling and what people nowadays dub as empaths. The same will be shown to you. It doesn't matter who the individual is or the people are. And I saw on the Jamaica Glino, premium, where Vybz Kartel Adisha Palmer has bemoaned the condition that that is actually in the prison system. It was hellish. It was horrific. When you look at the captions, he would say, one of them, he said he had to pee in a bottle and had to defecate in I think a bag, a scandal bag or a plastic bag or whatever it is. Maybe not all the time, but some of the times. And just to even think about that is horrific, because if we look at the Nelson Mandela's rules for prisoners, they ought to be treated with respect, even though you may say, well, if they never did the crime, then they would not have to face all of this. But listen to me, beautiful people, you can't use wrong behavior, wrong actions to correct wrong actions of the past. So, for example, somebody may commit a heinous crime, or not necessarily a heinous crime. They land themselves in prison. It doesn't mean that if you're the warder or whatever it is that you call them in the prison system, need to do something bad in order to punish them. Just to not have your freedom is punishment itself. So it doesn't mean that the toilets have to be horrible for them to be using plastic bags and bottles. It doesn't mean whatever it is with in terms of the showering, and they talk about and listen to songs of old, reggae singers, the cold concrete was their bed and so on. And they tell you of the hellish condition that they have to undergo, but I'm simply saying to you, beautiful people, that they still have to be treated with honor and respect. There is a country that I somehow wish I had downloaded that video. If technology was as savvy and easy as it is now, I probably would have done that and kept that video in the archives. I cannot remember which country it was, if it was Italy or one of those countries. I don't want to call the wrong names. I don't want to pin me on a name of a country. And they say not one person remains in the prison system because they rehabilitate them. So it says no matter how hardened a criminal you may see them to be, I guess they have the right intervention methods, the right rehabilitation methods in order to transform them. Because let me tell you something. The Bible says in Luke 1:37, but with God nothing is or ever impossible. No matter how hardened you see somebody is, they can change for the better. They can be transformed. Will everyone be? No, we know that already. That's life. Some people, they've allowed, and it is a choice. When you see them not change, a choice they would have made subliminally and overtly. In other words, they probably say, I'm already too far gone, so I've made up my mind, it makes no sense. But if you decide and execute that willpower and that strength, then you would realize that change or transformation rather can happen. So in that sense, and that human being can even become better than what all these good human beings that are present. If that were the case, then when we read about Paul in the Bible, Saul who became Paul, it would be a joke. He was one of the best human beings on the planet after he was transformed by Jesus Christ. So I'm saying all of that to say this to you, beautiful people. Even with all of that, we must give people a chance. It's important because when we think about our own lives, our own selves, some of the things that we have done, you may not necessarily kill somebody, you may not necessarily rob a bank, or raped or molested. Well, those now, when you start to delve in the pedophile, that's a different kettle of fish. But the reality is, some of you have, in a verbal way, in an emotional way, in a psychological and in a mental way, you have damaged people, similar to what the rapists, the pedophiles, and these types of heinous people and heinous acts have done to the victims. Some of you with the words, some of you have deliberately, out of jealousy and envy, caused others to hate other people. You have sold a story that is not true because you want them to hate them because of your own jealousies and your own weakness and your own low self-esteem. And you have created damage, but yet you would want people to treat you with honor and respect. You would want people to give you another chance when you're found out, to make things right. I still don't condone bad treatment to anybody. No matter how, see, when you hear of some things, I just sometimes probably keep my mouth shut. I say, Lord, this is what I feel in my heart towards this pedophile, towards this rapist, this murderer who has committed a heinous crime, shed innocent blood, But funny enough, if you look at the 7 things that God detests, when you think about the 7 things that God detests, the first thing it starts with is a lying tongue. A lying tongue, a haughty spirit, you see? Funny enough, so God looks at the inner man before he goes out to the actions committed. Lying tongue. You understand what I'm saying to you people? So some of them, so don't bother feel that some of you, the only reason why some of you are not imprisoned is because some of these things are not on the laws, on the book, the laws of the land. But believe you me, they're in the laws of God and you will pay for it. But I'm sure that you wouldn't want to be treated the way he was treated. He and others, I'm just using him, since he's a popular entertainer, known internationally and locally. And he came out and he stated it, the hellish condition that he has undergone. And it obviously he could not have been in a good state. Look at his condition now. Look at how he looks physically, and so on. So why, I don't know. I pray that somehow change will come. But not only that, I pray that the young youth of today will use his story, use his experiences, and do their best. Jamaicans have always said, try them endeavor best. You don't say try endeavor best. You either endeavor or you try. You pick one of the words. It's redundant, like some people who say reverse back. It's either you reverse or you go back. Make up your mind as to which of them you're choosing. So you endeavor to not go to prison. Endeavor. Just walk the straight and narrow. It is not easy to walk the straight and narrow when you see how the condition of the society is, but it is a better way. You see what has happened? The man left healthy and come out with Graves' disease, with his face, soul in his eyes, soul in his voice, cake up, and so on. And now has to work overtime to get back his health at an older age and stage. My sinuses are acting up. All right? So use it as a lesson. So many lessons we can get from that. We need to employ mercy. The prison system need to change because, on the basis of what he has promulgated, it was hellish, deplorable, basically. Having to be peeing in a bottle and defecating in a plastic bag. You wonder now what is the condition of the bathroom facilities. That's horrible. That's awful. And it's still human beings, no matter what, at least, because they don't have any freedom to come and commit their acts, although I hear people still plot their things from in prison, but that's another story. They still ought to be treated as some. If people treat them dog and cat like humans, with respect, all lion and tiger and bear, people who you say raise these wild animals, treat them like human beings. Much more the human being, and Jesus epitomized that. He admitted that the people who we would have written off, he treated with honor, he treated with respect, never shunned them, never treated them bad. Anybody that Jesus so-called never got along with, they didn't get along with him. They chose not to get along with him, like the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes. They were just critical people, critical in the sense of criticizing everything, negative people. They were religious, not spiritual. They were not sincere. Their hearts were sepulchred because it was of the devil. And they pretended to be something that they're not. So, I'm sorry that he had undergone that. Nobody, just to hear about it. I know some people probably feel good and say a good for him. Him should have, if he never did one face that, him should put himself to go into prison and all of that. Some of you, you're lucky that some of the things that you have done to people in life, you may not kill them, you may not have so-called raped them physically, or been a pedophile to children or whatever it is. But your words and the propaganda and the gossip that you have spread. Remember the book of James talk about the tongue being the most deadly element in the body. It's like a world of venom. Let me tell you, your day of reckoning is coming. Your day of hellish condition is coming, especially if you choose not to change. You might feel better peeing in a bottle and defecating in a plastic bag. So nobody feel that when you wish him bad, good is going to come to you. As a friend of mine said, you can't plan evil. I didn't understand what he meant by plan evil. You're not getting away. Guys, subscribe to my TikTok and the other.